Can we talk about the structure though, please? Because
Yes.
I want to understand how the money's being raised and what's going to happen 4 months after you've gone public. So who's involved? Who's raised the money for you?
So Canaccord were the lead agent alongside Hayward and Sprott. And we're coming out of this fundraising with about 26% of the company still owned by management, 30% owned by institutional investors, a bit over that, and then the residual, about 44%, owned by private investors. And the top 20 shareholders own going on for 67% of the company. So it's still pretty tightly held. And we will be, the vast majority of the shares will be free trading from day one. So there won't really be a 4-month hold on it because we're going in reverse. So I think that one thing I would point out is that kind of investor we attracted when we were private, who were willing to invest in us with an undefined timeline to a liquidity event or a listing, I think are the kind of investors who are comfortable holding and not, selling as soon as you list a company. So I think that we've got a pretty tight shareholder structure there and some very supportive shareholders, both private and institutions, who we've both had in the past and some who now are joining us.
Okay. You don't expect your brokers to dump stock in the market as soon as they can then?
No, I don't know.
I hope not either. Interesting. Okay. And with regards to how you're going to be able to raise money going forward, what type of structures will you be using whenever you need to do deals? You mentioned a facility there.
So we have an acquisition facility for up to 20 million US that we had with Sprott Resource Lending, who we also used for the last royalty acquisition in advance of the listing. And I think that complements really nicely our ability to offer vendors equity as well as cash. And I think if you look at some of the recent peers, I think one of the features that's been very apparent, and it's certainly it's been there in every conversation we have had with the royalty owner recently, is that they would like to take some equity as part of that deal because they can see the value uplift it will give and they can see how they can share in some of that. And so I think it is most likely to be a mixed approach of equity, cash, and then debt where appropriate.